Hi, this is Zap, and welcome to the Reset and Zap podcast.
I just need a reset. No, it's not enough to press pause. I think I need a reset. I need a reset. Reset.
Welcome to the Reset and Zap podcast. I am your host, Zap, and with me is my co-host.
Hey, everybody, what's up? It's your boy, TJ.
And if you're a fan of gaming, obviously, but also of music, you have good taste in music, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, are you in for a treat.
Yes, you are.
Because this episode is all about gaming, but also it involves music in it. And I thought, why not pass it down to the expert with me?
Oh, so that means we need to stop?
Do we need to stop?
Yeah.
Oh, hold up. Let's stop. Stop. All right, that's enough.
Okay.
And what are we talking about for our stop segment?
We are talking about music and entertainment.
Ooh.
In all its forms. Talking about music and gaming, music and movies, music and TV.
Music and audiobooks.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on that one.
Oh, and if you listen to this podcast.
Music and this podcast.
Music and podcasts.
And now this one, I got to be biased.
Yeah. Because this podcast also has music in it.
Which, by the way, we'll drop some news later on talking about it. But let's go back to what we were talking about.
It's just amazing how universal music is. Like it's used, like I said, in all these different media forms, and TV and YouTube and your movies and your games and this podcast. And just music becoming so central to life itself. Like I can't even imagine a world that didn't have music in it.
Be pretty lame.
Yeah, it would be actually. It'd be a pretty lame world.
Music plays a big role nowadays.
It really does.
It always has, but I feel like nowadays it is playing a big role.
It's even more because, like I said, our forms of entertainment are so vast now, and the one thing that goes between all of them is music.
Music.
It's the one thing that's universal no matter where you are. You could be here, you could be in another country. Music still exists. And, there's people around the world who enjoy the music that we make.
Yes.
So it's like, we were looking at our list earlier today, and we were seeing, Japan and Canada,
Australia,
and Russia,
the UK.
Australia. Like, music goes everywhere around the world in all of its forms. And one of the genres I think does a very good job of utilizing music is gaming.
Yeah.
When you are going through those story moments and they use that music to tug at your emotions, get you a little...
That's so beautiful.
I was playing the recent game I played, Tears of the Kingdom. It was a certain, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a certain scene towards the end of the game where something very emotional happens, and the music that they had the full orchestra come out. You could hear the strings and the pianos and all these instruments, just like they definitely pulled out a full orchestra for that one.
You needed some tissues.
Oh, yes.
Just
don't do that to my girl. Don't do that. But they gaming really goes in on that. Like I said, a lot of the times they make their own scores for their music. Like they'll have a whole department dedicated just to the music of the game, where they have a composer and they get an orchestra or a band.
I can imagine it has to be such a magical moment, like them just putting you in charge of a major project and you having to come up with an original soundtrack, original music, from scratch for this project. Like it's your baby. Yeah. You're creating something for this. Like the pressure has to be real too, in a way.
I can't even imagine. But that actually is one of my dreams, is to one day compose a song for a video game.
Yeah.
That would be like...
Because you could make or break something.
Yeah.
Easily.
Or they just won't use it.
Or they just won't use it.
They'll listen to it and be like, you know what? We don't like it.
It's trash.
It don't fit.
Don't call me. I'll call you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. We got a lot of other entries, and
Yeah, we'll consider the offer.
But music is just so important in all forms of entertainment. Like I imagine watching a movie with no music.
Yeah.
Imagine watching a TV show that had absolutely no music in it. Imagine playing a game with no music.
Well, there was a time for that, but it was called silent movies.
Yeah. And, you know, what happened to that?
Yep.
That's gone now. Ain't
Gone.
It? Yeah. Like one of the biggest complaints about Breath of the Wild when it came out was that the fact that it went with more nature sounds instead of actual music scores, and like that was one of the big things that people like harped about. It's like, where's the music? Like, it's really important. Imagine, think of like one of your favorite games, like let's say a Resident Evil game, and they just take out all the music.
Yeah, it won't be the good old Resi that we all love.
Exactly. Like, it would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's the reason I love music so much.
Yeah, like music has the power to sway emotions, fine-tune, highlight moments, and even used properly as sound effects, you know, like you said, anime or anime, like however you want to say it, but you know, it highlights important moments, important scenes, you know, like One Piece. Like One Piece is a hit. Like, I don't know if I would have been able to sit down and watch a whole season of One Piece if there was no music involved.
Oh yeah, some of those tunes become so iconic.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you say One Piece, the first thing that comes to my head is dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
It's yeah. It's iconic.
Yeah.
It's just iconic. And a lot of our beloved video games from back in the day is highly due to music too, because Donkey Kong Country, you know, believe it or not, I think that this video game would have not hit the same way.
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. If it wasn't for its music.
It has some of the best music in video games, period.
Yeah.
Like Sticker Brush Symphony, like they really just
It's memorable. That's another thing about music, that it's memorable. It's something that you can easily recall, because even if I'm not playing the game, simply listening to the soundtrack, I can easily remember, like, oh, it's this game, you know?
And it invokes memories. Like, so you attach music to memories. Like, you hear certain songs, you'll be like, oh, I remember when I first heard this song, or this song takes me back to this era. Or earlier today when we was in the car, I was listening to some music that I used to listen to back in the day to like get myself energy and hyped and stuff.
Yeah.
And it took me right back to that same place.
Just feeling energized.
I'm in the car jumping up and down, getting on your nerves.
Yeah. It's a whole different story. Yeah.
But she loves me though.
Yeah, I do.
And it's just because it's like you can literally, like, I could just literally just say something and you can, I could say a game and you'll instantly be able to pull some music from it. Like if I said Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
It's so easy. I say The Legend of Zelda. You know, it's like you instantly gonna go to The Legend of Zelda main thing. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Like it's right there at the tip of your tongue. It's same thing with movies. Certain moments in movies when you watch
TV shows, you know, it was those first 30 seconds, the introduction to a show is just so iconic. Like, I feel like they don't do it the same way, but that's a whole different story, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, a lot of my favorite 90s shows is due to that just opening. Yeah.
So, don't even get me started on like them 90s, 80s, 90s cartoon openings.
Every time that we're walking down, everybody that we meet.
Hey,
and I say,
hey, what a wonderful kind of day. Make you learn to work and play.
Yeah.
And get along with
what about,
each other.
It's the magic school bus. Don't get us started, ladies and gentlemen. Don't look at.
See what I'm saying though? But that's the power. I mean, see how excited we got?
Ooh.
I said DuckTales. Ooh. Oh, but see how much joy and happiness just thinking about the music of a cartoon does to you.
Yeah.
Same thing with video games. Like you think about certain games and certain songs instantly come to your mind. Like you think about Mario, you already know what's going down.
A perfect transition, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's transition.
Because we're going to go to our reset. You know, this is what made the Reset and Zap podcast. It's one of my favorite segments because we're going to go back to a video that I recently made. If you haven't watched it, it's on my main channel, YouTube/ZapCristal. And I talked about my top favorite OST of all time. Video game soundtracks.
Yes, you did.
So what a perfect moment, because we're discussing about the importance of music in all media forms and all entertainment. And we're going to talk about it within our favorite soundtracks of all time. Now, I will say, if you think I'm going to bring up the same list in this episode, guess what?
You're wrong.
You're wrong. I got prepared a complete original list of video game soundtracks that I didn't have the opportunity of mentioning in the video. So I highly encourage you guys that after this podcast, go visit my main channel, check out this episode. You're going to have tons of fun finding out of my, I think it was top 10, top 12, I lost the count of the number I probably don't got exact, but you know, of some of my many favorites. But here it's a bonus. I call it a bonus because I'm going to get to share some extras. But I'm gonna let you start off because I'm curious. I'm curious of what are your favorite soundtracks. Now, to be fair, what we did was it's gonna be a total of 10. You're gonna mention your favorite 5, and I'm gonna mention my favorite 5. So what do you think we're gonna do? Are we gonna go like back and forth, or are you just gonna drop your 5 and then I do my 5? What do you want to do?
Let's go back and forth.
Let's go back and forth. Okay.
I think that'll be fun.
Okay. Let's go from 5 to 1. How about that? That way we can leave our number.
Do it in order.
And our number 1 last.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay.
So we're gonna start from the bottom of our list.
We're gonna start from the bottom, baby.
All right. I kind of cheated.
Okay.
A little bit.
Okay.
Because when I think about music, I think about a full body of work. So I tie all of my favorite OSTs to franchises.
Okay.
So for number 5. I'm gonna go with the Sonic the Hedgehog series.
Really? Oh my God! I totally did not see it coming.
Yeah, I think Sonic, even though some of the games can be questionable sometimes, the music in Sonic games has always been phenomenal.
Okay.
Even to the point where one of my favorite Sonic games, Sonic 3, had music produced by the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. MJ.
Good old MJ.
Yeah, and for a while
really? Oh, you know what? That is true. I do remember listening to an interview and everything where he actually had talked about this project.
Yeah, because originally it was just a rumor that he had worked on it because he wasn't credited. But what the story behind that is, because I love the story. The story behind that is that when he made the music for it, he didn't like the way it sounded coming out of the Sega Genesis. He was very unhappy.
So he didn't want to be mentioned.
So he didn't want to be credited. But after his death, his lawyer came out and said that yes, indeed, it was true that he made the music for Sonic 3.
That's so cool.
So like, when you got Michael Jackson making your music
for a video game,
how you gonna lose?
Wow.
And I love, another thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Sonic music takes from a lot of real world music. Like one of the Sonic songs actually takes from a Bobby Brown song, Every Step I Take. So, every step I take, you will be there. And they do that quite a bit. There's actually a video on YouTube that shows how many songs that Sonic like emulate in their games. And that's just one of the ones that I've heard.
Wow.
And they do really cool stuff like that all the time. And so I think Sonic the Hedgehog, as the series as a whole, has always had really, really great music. So that is my number 5.
Wow. You pulled out even the history book out on me, huh?
I'm serious about my music and games.
Wow.
I am a musical gamer. So
I mean, yeah, true.
That is kind of my thing.
But your pick was just kind of blew me away. All right, sheesh. I don't know if I can top this off, but number 5, of course, you got to know that I am a huge Resi fan, if you don't know. And believe it or not, I think Resident Evil as a whole has one of the best soundtracks. Like, if you are a passionate horror fan and if you've been able to overcome and past the point of, not being fearful of every single noise and sound you hear in the game, then you might actually take the time to listen to the soundtrack. But if I were to choose one, and I think this might surprise a lot of y'all, one of my favorite Resident Evil soundtrack is Resident Evil Village.
Okay.
Resident Evil Village has a full-blown orchestra that if you were to sit down and listen to the album itself, you would highly appreciate Resident Evil Village because it is...
I need that Resident Evil Village because I'm kind of behind on my Resident Evil games. Village is not one that I've played yet because I'm still, I think 6 is the newest one that I've started. I haven't finished 6 yet. But I will give it to this. I'll give
No, not 6. We were playing 5.
5.
Yeah.
I haven't got to 6 yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm at 5. But the one thing I will give Resi is that when it comes to horror games, I don't think anybody does music better.
Yeah, it tugs to your heartstrings.
And honestly, we all know why that is because one of the kings of music and video games in general is Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom. Capcom just knows how to, just nails it every single time. And I think if I'm not mistaken, they have done live performances where they've gone on tour just for this, which is, I mean, can you really go wrong? You can't go wrong. I think one of the most iconic moments that I enjoy from Resident Evil Village is the menu itself. Like even before you press start, if you just put your controller down and listen to it, it's phenomenal. Like if you guys haven't really sat down to listen to it, just look it up, Google it, and sit down and listen to a full-blown album of Resident Evil, the soundtrack. It's amazing. Yeah, you're in for a treat. You're definitely in for a treat.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. And like I said, Capcom are definitely the kings when it comes to video game music. They are one of the best when it comes to that. Which is funny that you picked that because my number 4 is also a Capcom game.
Oh, which one you went with?
I went with Mega Man X.
Okay, yeah, I can see.
Mega Man X series specifically. Mega Man as a whole has always had great music. Like even Mega Man 2 has one of my favorite video game songs of all time. Wily's theme is one of my favorites.
Okay.
But Mega Man X has some of the most amazing music I've ever heard. Like when you hit that, this is the start menu. Doom. Da, 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 da. Like they just go hard with the rock and roll techno theme. Like they just, Mega Man X just goes ham with the music. Like every stage has its own theme. Every boss has his own theme. Like they just throw music at it. Everybody gets a song. I don't care if you're just a side character. You get a song too. I don't care. You get your own theme. Mega Man gets a theme. Zero gets a theme. I don't even know who that guy is over there. He's the green guy, but he gets a song too.
Everybody gets a song.
Everybody gets their own song. Like they went ham with the music in Mega Man X. And like I said, Capcom just in overall, any of their Capcom games usually has good music. Like they usually do not fail when it comes to music. So Mega Man X is my number 4.
Okay, this is getting tough. But you know, number 4 is easy peasy lemon squeezy for me because we gotta go with Nintendo for this one. And number 4 on my list is Splatoon. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Splatoon has amazing music, and one of the reasons why I'm so addicted and I love Splatoon and I've played it so much is precisely for the music. Like the Salmon Run, I love Salmon Run. If you play Salmon Run mode, the music for Salmon Run is just bumping. And then when you go, with your online battles, like it's just so catchy. It's one of my, that would be a hype playlist for me. Honestly, Splatoon would be my hype playlist because every time I was ready, I was like, I got my weapons ready, I got my paint ready, I got my gear ready, my swag on. I was just ready to knock out some mother truckers, you know what I mean?
The cool thing about Splatoon is that they actually have like music. Like they actually in the game itself, they have music artists. Like they have the two girls that actually like they're the ones that sing the music. Like they actually have like in the game music. Like it's I love how they do that.
That's another thing I love about it because when they do these special events like Splatfest, they do live concerts. So you get to see them perform and sing live whatever tunes you enjoy from the game.
That's really dope.
And sometimes I wouldn't even go on online battles because I just wanted to be up front, just looking at them performing, and it was just always a good time. Splatoon is a trip. Like, musically speaking, I think it's very well done, and it fits. It fits for the type of theme that they're going for, you know, when it comes to Splatoon. So
that's a good
pick.
That's I didn't see that coming, but that is a really good pick.
Yeah,
I like that.
What about for you? Number 3.
My number 3 is going to be very interesting.
Número 3.
Because it's actually from a series that I'm not, like, I don't play a lot of, actually.
Okay.
It's not I'm not a big fan of this series, but over time when I've done my, you know, my video game remixes and stuff like that, I've tackled this franchise quite a few times, and every time I come to it, they always got bangers. And I'm like, man, like, maybe I need to start playing these games because they got bangers all the time.
Which one?
That's Castlevania.
You know what? I have to agree. I think it makes two of us that surprisingly till this day I haven't really properly sat down and played a Castlevania game.
Me either. But Bloody Tears, like, and I love how they name all their songs too. Reincarnated Souls. Like, some songs, it's just like, it would be like, oh, World 1 theme or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. But each one of their songs actually has like a unique name. So they got Bloody Tears, Reincarnated Soul, and I love how they actually like give their songs like official names. And every time I've done a remix from the Castlevania series, it has been a banger. And it's made me be like, you know what? I really need to like get into Castlevania because they got the hits.
So on a segue, I was meaning to ask you this. So do you feel like by creating music, it has helped you in a way be introduced to games that you probably wouldn't have considered before, but because of its music, now you're actually considering the idea of playing them?
Quite a few times, actually. Because sometimes I'll take like suggestions from like my Twitter. I'll put out a Twitter poll like, hey, what are some remixes, games you want me to see? And sometimes people will pull out games that I've never played before, and I'll just go through and I'll listen to the music. I'll be like, man, this is actually kind of cool. Like, I might need, like I said, Castlevania is one of them. Like, Castlevania gets suggested all the time. Like, every time I say, hey, what franchises would you like to see me tackle with remixes? Castlevania I've done Castlevania like 3 times, I think, already at this point. And I'm like, man, like, bang, 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 bang. Like, I love it. And it makes me really want to, like, one day I really want to sit down and just like go through some Castlevania games.
Okay. Well, number 3, I'm going back old school. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can recreate one, and you probably can guess what this game is. So it started.
Sounds very familiar.
You can't guess it?
Oh, it sounds so familiar.
Yeah. You can't guess it?
No, you lost me. You got me.
Crazy Taxi.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed right now.
Crazy Taxi.
Oh, I haven't played that game in so
I
long.
love Crazy Taxi. I mean, it's impossible to just play some of their songs now because of the licensing issues and stuff. It's a really old game. But, like, come on now. If you play Crazy Taxi, you know it had some good jams. It just had some really good jams.
It did.
And till this day, like, I could hear it and I automatically know if it was. It's just that the opening itself, the menu. Crazy Taxi. And then, like, it was so good. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory why I like Crazy Taxi.
Because the music is fantastic.
The music is fantastic.
You are right.
As a matter of fact, I think that if you take away the music, I don't know if I would play Crazy Taxi. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but
it needs that music.
It really needs it.
Imagine taking the music out of Crazy Taxi.
And not even like taking it away. Like, go with a different genre for Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, do like, I don't know, anything besides what they did. Like, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Like,
and this might be cheating. I'm sorry. I know we said 5. Okay, can I combine? Because it just hit me right now. If we're talking about Crazy Taxi, I would put Crazy Taxi / I gotta put it still on number 3. SSX Tricky.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Because that was my jam back in the day too.
That's a banger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is getting harder now.
Yeah, I'm hurting right now.
Yeah.
Because I know where I want to go. I got 2 more picks left.
Let's do something. If we complete these 5, we can drop 1 bonus.
1 bonus?
1 bonus.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's fair.
Just to make it easier on us.
So I'm at number 2 now, right?
Number 2.
Number 2.
You are breathing hard over there.
It's 2 games that I'm competing for. One, I got to figure out what's going to be the bonus. I already know what my number 1 is. But my number 2, I'm struggling between what's going to be the bonus and what's going to be the one I actually put in my list.
I'm kind of scared because I don't know if our number 1 is going to be the same. So it'll be, but okay.
Probably. I don't think so, actually. I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I think you already know what my number 1 is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I always talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you know what my number 1 is. Number 2 slot is killing me right now. But I'm going to have to let the bias take over for my number 2. And I'll go back to the bonus and I'll tell you why I was matching those up. But I'm going to have to let the bias kick through for number 2. And I'm going to say Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
Legend of Zelda music is, like I said, iconic.
As a whole, or do you have one in particular that you like?
If I had to pick one specifically, it would be Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
The music is like, but the thing about Zelda games is a lot of the music gets used in later games too. So like a lot of the songs from Ocarina of Time actually come from the SNES game Link to the Past.
Gotcha.
And then Ocarina of Time music gets used again in Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. So a lot of the Zelda music gets reused and remixed and retooled a lot. So you hear it pretty much everywhere. So I would say Legend of Zelda as a whole.
Okay.
But the reason why I gave there's 2 reasons I give them the heads up. One is, of course,
Zelda.
I love Zelda.
Yeah.
But 2, the reason they've done something very unique that I don't see a lot of games do, and that's incorporate music into the gameplay itself.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
That's why I picked Ocarina of Time,
Gotcha.
because that is literally a musical instrument that you have to play to get certain effects.
Which, fun fact, we actually had a segment where you talked about it from my popular on-demand series, Video Game Secrets.
Yes. Yeah, I did talk about that.
You actually got to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, like you play the instrument, and if you do it at a certain time and play a certain song, you get certain effects.
Yeah.
If you want to know what that is, you should go check out that video. But I did mention that. And like, it's not the only time that they've done that. In Twilight Princess, you get like a harp instrument where you can play the harp and do certain things. The goddess harp. There's Majora's Mask where you get several instruments. You get the drums, you get the guitar, you get the horns.
Link's Awakening, too.
Link's Awakening.
You collect
also,
the instruments.
You collect musical instruments. And you have to put all of them together to play the song to, complete the game.
Yeah.
So
I can't ruin that.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say it, but like music has been very deeply into the Legend of Zelda series. Like you said, instruments in that game. Ocarina of Time has an instrument. Majora's Mask has an instrument. Twilight Princess has an instrument. Like all these music is like really heavily used, not just in the game itself, but in the actual game play. So that's why I gave it the legs up over my other choice, which will be my bonus we'll talk about later.
Okay. So number 2, I decided to go totally south on this one. I have my own reasons. I just have my own reasons why. But it would be Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 2 for me. I feel that out of
that's good though.
all of the Animal Crossing games that I've been exposed to so far, I feel like Animal Crossing New Horizons is just iconic. It's just iconic. It does a really good job in setting the theme and the mood for the game, because you're supposed to feel, you know what I mean? Just you're relaxing, chilling on an island. So it's very appropriate. The theme is very appropriate. And
I'm hurting right now. I'm hurting right now.
And then when you take the boat rides, Cap'n just bust out one of his rhymes and he just be singing and all that. And and then KK with his concerts. Oh my God, I can go on. I can just go on.
You actually hurting me right now, because now I got like this 2 game. I'll say that the reason why I didn't pick Animal Crossing is because I just recently got into Animal Crossing.
Gotcha.
So it hasn't had enough time to sink in with me yet.
Yeah.
But if I grew up playing Animal Crossing, it probably would have been on my list.
Yeah, for me, like I've already been playing for a long time.
So like that music is just like in you now.
Yeah.
So, like, I just got into Animal Crossing.
Right now, like Animal Crossing Horizon just holds a very special place in my heart. So I think that it's kind of the same way as
some good music in there.
you know, Stardew Valley. It's the same, you know.
You literally just pulled it out of my head. I was literally going to say
yeah.
that. And as soon as you said Animal Crossing, the other thing that came to my head was Stardew Valley. I'm like, dang, I didn't pick Stardew Valley.
Yeah, which is the only one I'm gonna spoil. That if you watch my video, you're gonna hear me mention this game because I did mention it as one of my favorite OSTs.
It's really good.
So yeah, so Animal Crossing New Horizons would be number 2 on my list.
I'm hurt now.
Well, you still have a bonus.
I know, but my bonus is already taken, and I can't. Like I said, if I had more Animal Crossing experience, it probably would have made it. Because Animal Crossing, from what I've heard in New Horizon, that music is fantastic. But that's only one game that I've played in the series. Gotcha. And Stardew Valley is just not fair. Like, Stardew Valley is just not fair. Because that music literally, I will literally be sitting down, we will play that game together, and I will just be sitting there humming the music. Like, that game is fantastic. But my number 1.
Okay.
Like I said, you already know what it is.
Yeah.
And most people, if you know me and have followed me at all, you probably know what I'm going to pick.
But if they don't.
But they don't.
What's your numero uno?
I think you're going to agree. It's Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger, baby.
I feel like Chrono Trigger's soundtrack is absolutely flawless.
I agree with you. I've recently just started playing this game on Twitch. First blind playthrough. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, let's see what this Chrono Trigger is all about. Because he keeps gushing and talking about this game over and over and over and over. But slowly but surely, it is becoming my favorite game too.
Like, just Chrono Trigger as a whole is an amazing game, but the music is like, if you pull up the OST for Chrono Trigger, it's like 30, 40 tracks. Like, once again, every area gets its own music. Every character gets their own theme. Every boss fight is unique. Like, they put so much music into an SNES cartridge. It is ridiculous how they were able to do it. And every single song slaps. Like, I haven't heard one song in Chrono Trigger that I do not like. Like, every area, like, they like, oh, well, it's an old game, so it's not really spoilers.
Yeah, you're not really gonna spoil
like,
anything.
When you go to, like, the period of the dinosaurs, you get that real caveman-y, Congo, bongo type music that fits that era. When you're in the, like, the desolate, dark future, the music is real dark and all ominous and stuff. And when you have those happy moments, the music gets all joy, like everything goes up and tunes up. There are certain songs that if you don't do certain things, you can completely miss the music. Like at the very beginning of the game, I was like, I need you to go over to here because I need to hear this song. If in the fair, you go to that left floor, that audio over to the left, and you go to see Gato, and it plays Gato's theme, and it's one of my favorite songs in the game. But it is completely missable. They put a song just for that area that is completely missable. Like, who does that? Like, why even make music for it at all if people might not even see it? Like, you could completely miss it. Like, it's amazing they put that much detail into it that they would do that. And Square / Square Enix are some of the greatest musical, like, gaming things I've ever seen in my life.
Woo! We're talking about Square, right?
And that is all. Do I do my bonus now?
No.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
No.
Do your thing. That's my number 1 is Chrono Trigger. A completely flawless OST. Go check out the OST, listen to it from beginning to end, and tell me that there's a bad song on there.
So number 1, which is gonna surprise you, but we're on the same page because it's also from Square, is Super Mario RPG.
You know what? I should have seen that coming. I didn't see it coming, but I should have.
Super Mario RPG. Like, I remember the first time I played it live and I streamed it both on Twitch and on YouTube. One of the things that kept me gravitated to this title was definitely the music. And now with the remaster
I can't wait.
coming
I can't
soon,
wait to hear remastered.
I'm excited to hear how these soundtracks are gonna sound.
Oh my God.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm wondering if they got creative and gave it a little, little twang, a little twist to it, or if they, try to keep it back to its original state, but with
remastered instruments and stuff like that.
So Super Mario RPG, baby, is my #1 pick of favorite OSTs. But now we're going to drop our bonus. Do you want me to drop my bonus first, since you kind of started your list?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then you can do it.
Go ahead.
I did a switcheroo last minute, actually, because while we were talking, I was like, how did I not remember this game?
Okay.
So this one pushed away, actually, one that's up there for me. So, which surprised me that I could easily just switch it. My bonus will be Cult of the Lamb. Because originally I had put as my bonus, and I'm just gonna put it out there because it is what it is. I had put Paper Mario, because I think Paper Mario has really good music too.
It does.
But as soon as I thought about Cult of the Lamb while we were talking, I was like, yeah, I think Cult of the Lamb actually would take away,
Cult of the Lamb got some bangers.
Cult of the Lamb is good. Don't sleep on Cult of the Lamb.
Cult of the Lamb got some bangers.
It is real. Like, you caught me humming to it almost every time.
Yeah, the Cult of the Lamb got some bangers. I am 100% in agreement with you on that.
Yeah. So that's my bonus.
That's a good one. All right, so going back to my bonus, like I said, the #2 slot was between two series that I absolutely love the music in. And like I said, I let my bias take control, and I picked The Legend of Zelda. But what it was competing against, and when you hear what it was competing against, you'll understand why it was kind of tight for me. But it also goes back to Square.
Okay.
Because like I said, Square's, they are some kings.
Oh, okay. I think I know.
And I'm going to cheat again and pick a series. But Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy and that's how much I love the music in Final Fantasy, that it was able to compete with one of my favorite game series, of my absolute favorite game series of all time. Final Fantasy was able to compete musically.
Wow.
Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 4, Final Fantasy 15. They all have such amazing music. Like, Square once again does their thing and brings the heat when it comes to the music. Like, what else it's Final Fantasy.
It's funny that Fantasy. Like 3 titles that we mentioned from both of our lists are all, no, 4 titles, I think, have all been from Square.
Yeah. Final Fantasy.
Because
Super Mario RPG.
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger.
I
feel like I'm missing one.
I'm missing one too, but I think it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, but that's 3 right there. That's 3 Square.
Yeah.
Like Square, we had a Konami on there. And Capcom.
Yep, Capcom, Bandai Namco.
Oh, and Devolver Digital.
Yep.
But yeah, this was actually a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
The more you bring up stuff, the more I think, I'm like, man, like, I'm really mad I didn't put Animal Crossing.
And actually, let's invite the listeners so you get to comment and drop your own list of what are some of your favorite OSTs of all time, and invite us to give it a listen, because maybe we might be exposed to some good music that we've never listened to before. And now we have to fast forward.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, fast forward, baby. Because in this segment, I'm always excited about fast forward, because we get to talk about all the upcoming projects we're working on, all the fascinating things that are coming soon, not only to the ZapCristal universe, but also to the Master Sword music world, But also, we get to make special announcements, upcoming events, whatever is going on that for us is important, we're gonna make sure you find out. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you start it off, because we have some very important albums that are about to drop. Do you mind sharing a little bit of what it's all about?
Yes, it is all about you.
Oh, about you?
Yeah, you.
About me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is actually the title of my next album. It's called All About You, which is obviously the story of how I met ZapCristal and how I fell in love with ZapCristal. And this is probably one of the most unique projects I've ever done. Like, compared to anything else, that's why it doesn't have the Legend of TJ moniker that all my other albums do. where it's The Legend of TJ and then the title. This one is a completely separate from that series and is doing its own thing. And it's going to be unique in a bunch of different ways. Like I said, the music styling is going to be different than what I'm normally done. This is going to be my first storytelling album, where if you listen to it from beginning to end, it actually tells a story. And to push that point even further, I'm going to make another announcement about the album.
Okay.
Is that the videos themselves for this project all linked together to make a movie. A movie that was directed and filmed by none other than ZapCristal.
Little old me?
Yeah. This is the first time that anyone's ever done videos for my channel. So it's going to be very interesting to see your take on the Master Sword music video style. It's going to be very different and unique than my editing style, but because, you know, she's a different person than I am. But like I said, once you put all these videos together and watch them succinctly, it tells a story, and it is a movie.
It's a movie. And I think it's going to be your very first album that in order to understand the story, you have to listen to it in order.
Yeah, you can't skip around on this one. So when we drop the videos, they will be dropping in order, and it will unveil the story as you watch each video. And then at the end of that series, we'll probably drop a long form video that has the whole movie linked together as one project.
So should we be expecting a listening party or a watch party?
Yes, you should. There's definitely going to be a movie night.
Nice.
For sure.
So we definitely got to prep that popcorn.
Yeah. So that is the first announcement. And then the second announcement that I want to make is that that All About You is only the beginning. Mm-hmm. Because there's going to be a part 2 to All About You. But it's not going to be all about you.
Oh, it's going to be about us.
Yes, that's right. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
ZapCristal is going to be doing her own album on Master Sword Music called Our Love Journey.
Our Love Journey.
And it is the same story, but from her perspective, her telling her story and expanding upon what I've already told. And our 2 albums will actually connect to tell a full overarching story.
Yeah.
So this is going to be very interesting to see how this whole thing plays out.
It's a season 2.
Yeah, basically season 2 of All About You. So yeah, it's going to be really cool to see how it all comes together. We've been working really hard on putting this project together.
Yes, we have.
And man, I can't wait for you guys to see what we've been working on, because the video editing and filming, that this is a movie director in the making right here. I'm trying to tell you. Because when y'all see these videos, they are definitely, without a doubt, some of the best videos that will ever hit my channel. Like they are absolutely mind-blowing, emotional. I even cried. Okay? I'm crying watching some of these videos, and I know what's happening because it's my story. So I can't wait to see that. And then, of course, all the other artists at Master Sword Music will also be dropping short projects as well. Katetsu will be dropping an EP. VG will be dropping an EP. Of course, we'll probably drop another group. Like there's so much in store. We have so much music coming down the pipe at Master Sword Music. So I'm very, very excited for what is to come.
Yeah. Over here in the ZapCristal universe, as you all know, we have some upcoming events coming, which, of course, we're continuing our annual event that appears that it's never going to end, which is our Resident Evil Marathon, as I, just guide myself, walk in this journey of attempting to complete every Resident Evil game, which, whew, I still have a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to continue also our retro gaming streams. Of course, we have our community night streams. By the way, we've brought that back. So if you're a big fan of community night streams, playing some good old Jackbox party games, you name it, TMNT, whatever suggestions you have for community night streams, that's what we're bringing back at least once a month. So you should be a part of that streaming universe, because we always have tons of fun. Oh my God, that last one, boy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to ZapCristal YouTube channel and look at the video from the last community night. Lord Jesus, it was a trip, ladies and gentlemen. Good time. We're also preparing for our annual Spookathon event. If you don't know what Spookathon event is, it's an event I created 3 years ago that started for the month of October. So for the entire month of October, it's a huge event that we promote, where we get to play horror games and celebrate this season. So whether you celebrate it or not, or you're just a horror fan, or you just like hanging out with me, Spookathon is like one of those big major events that I prep usually at least a month before, because it requires a lot of organizing. Okay. Yeah. So it's pretty exciting. Of course, you already mentioned our love journey, and there's some more announcements that I wish I can drop, but I'll have to put those on a hold.
Okay. We're not going to tell them yet?
We're going to have to put them on a hold right now.
All right. Sorry, guys. I was hoping we was going to get to talk about it because I'm excited. So I guess I have to shut my mouth.
We might be able to talk about it in a near episode. So just stay tuned to the podcast if you want to find out what it's all about.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that being said, guys, I want to remind you.
To what?
To what?
Oh, this is my
As a matter of
part.
fact, let's split it up. Let's split it. We've never done this. Let's see if we're on cue.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. I'm counting on you. Okay. Don't screw it up.
I'm nervous now.
Okay. As always, I want to remind you to
reset
and zap
for the week. Oh, Jesus. I did it.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and listening once again to another episode as we're closing into season 1 for the Reset and Zap podcast. I am signing out, and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.